Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Pulsar Xlite Wireless. And I do want to say that this is definitely a mouse that caught me by surprise. I did not think that, one, I would like the size or shape of the mouse, and I definitely did not think that I would enjoy using Ergo again after using Ambi for months and months and months, reviewing all of the Ambi mice that hit the market. I do want to say, though, that this mouse is actually very incredible for $74.99. The price point really cannot be beat, and I do want to throw that out there out of the gate because this thing is really a beast for $74.99. It has a PixArt PAW3370 sensor. It is up to 70 hours of battery life as advertised, and I do hit that on my testing of the mouse. It is, of course, 2.4 gigahertz wireless. It charges via USB-C, and the mouse has Kale 8.0s and is advertised, and my copy is around that 58 gram mark for a large wireless ergonomic mouse. And getting up close and personal to the mouse is actually not quite as long as the EC1. It's not quite as long as the EC2. The EC2 comes in at a length of about 123, whereas this is somewhat close at 122.66. The width at the base of the mouse is just a tad bit wider than the EC2C. It is not as wide as the EC1, and it's not as wide as the Model D Wireless, and it is not as long as the Model D Wireless. So if you're looking for a comfortable ergonomic mouse and you have massive hands, my hands are a little over 21 centimeters. If you have massive hands, you might look at the EC1C or the Model D Wireless. But for me, this mouse is absolutely perfect for my size hands. I think anybody for the bracket of medium to large hands would have a very comfortable experience with this wireless ergonomic mouse. And as far as my build quality, guys, my build quality is surprisingly extremely good. I didn't actually anticipate how good this mouse was going to feel in hand, but this thing does not feel like a cheap mouse at all. The ribcage design is actually pretty fantastic. I like it a lot. I think it adds a lot to my grip. It kind of keeps you consciously aware while you're playing of where your hand is in line with the side clicks. But I don't have any flex inward. I don't have any flex pushing down on the top shell down to the bottom of the mouse. And as far as the bottom of the mouse is concerned, you can see this kind of intricate and interesting design that they have here with the exposed PCB, with the empty areas on the bottom of the mouse as far as areas where the plastic is missing. Now, obviously, this is where you are losing quite a bit of weight to get the mouse down to that 58 grams, right? Now, these areas do flex a little bit when you push them, but you're not going to be doing that while you're in game. I don't think that has any issue or concern as far as the build quality or integrity of the mouse. I don't feel any flexing or creaking while I'm playing or pushing down into my cloth mouse pad or hard mouse pad. The skates out of the box, they're not horrible. I would say they're probably in line to the G-Wolves Hottie skates, maybe a tad bit better. And they do kind of break in and get a little bit smoother, but I certainly would recommend, if third parties do produce skates for this mouse, I certainly am going to be one to upgrade the skates. I am a fan of the Tiger Esports skates. I like the core pads as well. And depending on if I'm looking for speed or a little additional control, I'll decide to go one way or the other. As far as the quality of the switches and how Mouse 1 and Mouse 2 feel, you can see that I have just a tad bit of pre-travel on Mouse 1 and Mouse 2, but the switches are so close, or the plastic of Mouse 1 and Mouse 2 is so close to this little bumper here that you don't really get any post-travel. As far as the side clicks, Mouse 4 and Mouse 5, they actually are some of the better feeling side switches that I've felt. They're very tactile, and I have virtually no post-travel and I would say no pre-travel on my copy of this Pulsar Xlite. I am able to comfortably relaxed fingertip the mouse with the size of the mouse in my size hands. But if I was to kind of get a more relaxed grip and just palm this thing, it still feels very good. So you do have a versatility in the grip that you choose. And even if you wanted to claw this thing, no problem. All things considered, let's get this thing into some Apex and see how it plays. And not only did the mouse feel good in Apex, it also felt good in tech shooters as well.
That was disgusting.
And to give you guys a sound test of those Kale 8.0s, and another thing that I do want to point out about Mouse 1 and Mouse 2 and the Kale 8.0s, in this mouse, it actually feels very easy to spam Mouse 1 and Mouse 2. It's not like some mice that come with Kale 8.0s or 4.0s, and the Mouse 1 and Mouse 2 almost feel like they're heavy or don't rebound as fast as they should. These are very, very spammable, so if you're playing a game that requires that, that could be a benefit or aid to you. The scroll wheel feels very, very good, almost similar to a Logitech G Pro. Definitely something not quite as noticeable as the new Zowie C line. And mouse 3 is very easy to push and rebounds very quickly and nicely. And the software of the mouse is very easy to navigate as well. And you can see that the RGB indicator on the bottom of the mouse actually does shine through the ribbing on the front side, especially in a dark room. I would say that the RGB swaps aren't very bright, aren't very noticeable. So, when you swap to red, it's not really like a bright, bright red. But those will correspond with the DPI profile that you are on. The software can change the liftoff distance as well as the pulling rate and debounce time. And just to give my final opinions on the Pulsar Xlite Wireless, I think that for me, this is my #1 ergonomic recommendation on the market right now, period. This is an absolutely phenomenal mouse at $74.99 that I didn't think would feel this good, but feels damn good. The build quality is absolutely phenomenal. The size and dimensions is somewhat close to the EC2, and there's really nothing on the market that fills that niche area that a lot of people enjoy. The EC2 was a phenomenal mouse. A lot of people used it at pro level play in Overwatch, Counter-Strike, Valorant, and several other games, even Apex. It's good for tracking as well. And the Pulsar Xlite Wireless, the 3370 feels absolutely phenomenal. I don't have any issues with latency. I do get the advertised battery life. The mouse is that advertised 58 to 59 grams. On my copy, it is the 59. And I can say that just everything on the mouse feels good. A lot of mice implement Kale 8.0 switches, and the switches just don't feel like Kale 8.0s. I can say that they feel like Kale 8.0s in this mouse. And one of the great things about the mouse is that as you are spraying, you don't feel any grinding of the Kale 8.0 under the plastic of the mouse. And that is really something that I think is very, very high quality. Even my Logitech G Pro Superlight, if I'm holding down mouse 1 or mouse 2, I can feel a grinding of the plastic over those switches. So I do think that the mouse is very well thought out between the texture, the weight, the ribbing, the switches, the sensor implementation. It is a phenomenal mouse, cannot be beat at $74.99, and I highly recommend that if you like ergonomic, if you like that EC2 shape, I would definitely recommend giving this mouse a try. If that helped, guys, please leave a subscription to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.